What's up, everybody? We are live once again. It is Thursday. Hashtag Thursday. Hashtag that shit. We're here for another episode of Comic Conversation, the live YouTube show that becomes a podcast later in the week, all that fun stuff. We have some really great topics actually tonight. And again, I know I say that every week, but we really do, I promise you. We got a couple ideas for some replacements for Mr. James Gunn. Some things that Geoff John said about his take on the Green Lantern Corps movie. We're going to get really into some updates and some news and some things that we like about X-Men coming up, tying into some of the movie news that'll be happening tomorrow, actually. So little teaser on that. And then at the end of this, what we're going to do is talk about some what ifs, all of our favorite what ifs. And we want to hear from you guys some ideas on some what ifs that you would like to see in the future. If you're watching this later, go ahead and leave those in the comments. So some fun ones there. I'm sure we'll get some crazy answers. So yeah, that'll be later in the show. Couple of shout outs in the chat, and then we'll go ahead and get into updates with our illustrious panel here. Jason Smith was first. He says, so Legend Storm TV is here as well. I also see Philly's Superman, Jack Yo, Joker M21, Splash Page is here. So we're just filling up this chat here. I see TJ, howdy to you as well. All right, cool. So as others come in, we'll go ahead and we'll say hi to them too. So all right, Justin, what's going on with you, man?
Chilling. What you doing? Just talking about comics. Yeah. That's what we do.
That's right.
Yeah. No, not a whole lot. Had a good Sunday morning comics last Sunday. Of course, we'll have another one this Sunday. So everybody check that out if you can. And then I had an auction on Sunday night. Me and Mr. Unknown Comics guy. That was a lot of fun. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, it was kind of like I wanted to go, and I didn't get home in time, and I know we talked about it ahead of time, and I just didn't have time to pull the books out that I wanted. You know what I mean? So I didn't want to just show any old thing. I could just pull out
every time I've ever been on an auction, halfway through it, I'm like, oh yeah, I had these books that I could have got.
Yeah, I would do that too.
So that's how it always goes. But that was a lot of fun. Haul just went up, so normal good stuff as always over on Exhaust State Comics.
That's right. And you're still doing the thing with the comments, right?
Yes. So yeah, leave a comment on the haul, and then there's a giveaway at the end of the haul. If you stick around and watch till the end, there's a giveaway.
Nice.
I'm just not I'm not gonna advertise it anymore. So that way it's
your believers.
People that know about it will know about it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're rewarding the people who watch regularly. The people that would know about it. So that's cool. Okay. Yeah. Except for today. We're telling everybody.
Well,
head on over.
And then today it was somebody from the community who also won C. Woodard.
Oh, nice. Very
was
cool.
The winner on the video today.
Cool. I seen him win a couple of contests, so that's cool.
Nice. Nice.
All right, cool. Let's kick it on over to the end there. The guy in the Celtics jersey. Boston Chris.
How's it going? Brother? Man. So I missed last week. Just kind of had get together with some friends and things like that. Just a friend I haven't seen in about 5 years. He's living out in England right now, so it's pretty cool to catch up. But just been doing more of the same. Just kind of getting books and put up a haul and everything like that. I have my books for this haul that I got to go ahead and put up, and then just also going to talk about just some stuff for Boston Comic-Con, which is coming. Well, Boston Fan Expo, that's coming up in 2 weeks. So, just doing all that, and then right around this time also gets a little busy because it's my sister-in-law's birthday, my nephew's birthday, and my wife's birthday all in the same week. So it's just a lot of stuff going on. So, and my wife's cousin is getting married as well. All in this this next 10-day period as we lead up to Comic-Con. So so much stuff going on, but just having some fun. Just trying to avoid the heat. Even though it rained today, it is hot. So that's pretty much it. Just kind of getting back in the groove of YouTube ever since vacation, and then just having some fun. So, just I'm excited because Comic-Con's coming up and so much other like family type stuff. So it's just like trying to wrap it all together and stay up with my comics is just kind of like it's a pretty it's a pretty crazy schedule to balance it out. And I should write a letter like, if Boston fans, if you guys could move it back like 2 weeks or something like that, just so it's not right in the middle of it all. Because
yeah, do it. Change.org. Do a petition.
But yeah, no, just kind of just doing my own thing and just living life and all the rest of it. So, but that's pretty much my story for now. It's just same old, same old.
Cool. All right. I see Big E's there, something, and Gomez as well. So cool. We got some more folks there. Edwin, how's it going, man? Been busy?
What's up, fellas? Yeah, man, I've been really busy. I'm peeling like a snake from my sunburn from a couple weeks ago, but I think I'm getting over that. But yeah, shout out to Big E's, Gomez getting that shmoney and all them cats. Real quick, gotta give a quick preview because Boston Chris reminded me I actually got to get a video out myself this week. I'm gonna give a quick preview. My panel members have seen this. We're talking about it today, but got in my hand. I'm gonna see if the chat knows what this is. Let's see if the chat knows what it is that I am holding in my hand, because this is a kind of a keeper, and I have here a second print newsstand variant of.
You killed the suspense there, man.
Hey man, I don't want to. Hey, I'm sorry. I'm just.
Let's see if
I'm drinking coffee. Yeah. Let's see if the chat can guess what I'm holding in my hand while I tell them exactly what it is I'm holding in my hand. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just a little disorganized, but
go ahead and leave in the comments what you think this Batman 457 second print newsstand is, please.
Yes. Oh my God, man! I'm glad this isn't my show. Anyways, yeah, I got one of these. Found this for $1 yesterday. From what I understand, there's like 20, 30, somewhere around there. Really low number of what's known to be in existence right now in the period. What's that?
On like the market, because what was the print run on that book?
I don't know what the print run is, but from what I understand, yeah, Big E's, you're right, man. I just want to tell somebody. But
I mean,
it's not very big because I've been somebody sent me today the forum, the CGC forum of what has been a discussion in 2016, 2017, and it's not very big from what I understand. So yeah.
Nice.
What were you gonna say, Justin? I'm sorry, man.
Not. I just think that's one of those books that is probably in long boxes, and people just think it's an issue of Batman.
Yes, like I don't understand this. Like
people don't know to look for it, really.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, here's the kicker, and Jesse, you might appreciate this. In the forum that I was reading, the one guy was like, "Yeah, I got 4 copies, and they were all in Florida." Somebody else also said that. Yeah, somebody else was like, "Yeah, I come across a seller, and he's in Florida too, and he has like 3 of them." So apparently they're somewhere, in Florida. So if anybody can find
a regional distributor that got a bunch on them.
I don't know, man. I don't know, but apparently if you can get yourself a copy, even with this right here, this it's, I guess what happens is that when books like this don't sell back in the day, they put a Sharpie, they mark it, and then they just send it back to the shop. But I was told that even with this marking, and I kind of screwed it up because I was trying to erase it with rubbing alcohol because it was coming out, but then it started to take out a little bit of the color from the actual book and even the color from the barcode, so I left it alone. So I might just take a Sharpie and just mark it out again myself, just so it looks like it was the original marking from 30 plus years ago. I don't know, but anyways,
evidence a little steam. That's not gonna.
Well, it's gonna harm it. Even the original marking from when they did it back many years ago, it's gonna ding it down, but not by a whole lot. You know what I mean? Like collectors will still want it, but what can you do? It is what it is. But I'm glad to have it. It's in case everybody doesn't know what this is. It is a second, or I'm sorry, I'm sorry, guys. I need to get some sugar. It is the first appearance of Tim Drake as Robin, I think, and Raw. The last eBay sale, I think this book went for about $1,500. But I'm going to get this one graded, just because I don't know how that would affect some of the collectors. But some people will want it. But the last one that did not have this, the guy said it was about 8.5. And it went for about a little over $1,500 on eBay.
Yeah, that strike through was a kind of an industry standard at the time with the returnability and stuff. So that's not really going to affect the grade because that was again industry standard.
Okay.
So, yeah,
good to confirm that. Appreciate that.
Yeah. So, cool. So all right, I see some more folks there. J Rodham, what's going on, man? Cool. That's a pretty cool book. You're gonna send it off. Did you say you're gonna send it off?
Yes, sir. I'm gonna send it off. Get it. I'm gonna press it, slab it, and wait. I don't know what's gonna be the outcome of it once it comes back, but it's probably definitely gonna get sold.
Yeah.
TJ Watson in the chat said that he has plenty of 9.8s with that mark or an X.
Dude, he's probably looking at about $1,000 each at least.
No, not about that book.
No, not that book.
I'm just saying he got graded books, 9.8s that have those marks. So that shouldn't affect it.
Gotcha.
All right, cool. So I don't know. I haven't been up to too much. I saw a couple movies earlier in the week. Put up a couple reviews for those. Oh yeah. It's fun. So that's pretty much it. I'm still behind on my haul, so I should be getting some stuff out hopefully this weekend. Back issue haul and the new books, things like that. So that's on the way. I got another history type video I'm still working on. Got to edit the audio on it, so that's on the way as well. So a lot of stuff in the pot cooking. Should be up soon. So talking about coffee, I'm drinking out of my Laguna Seca cup here. Remember, this was a fun trip. Went out to California with the family many years ago. And where Laguna Seca is? It's kind of in between Monterey and Salinas. Okay. Yeah, it's Mazda Raceway now, I think.
Yeah.
But we had a rental car, and it was kind of off season. Still nice, but we ended up getting to go on the track with the car. We just drove through one of the service gates, and we were with the rental car. There's a really famous turn with a dip. I think it's on the back end of the track. Yeah. So we were we got to drive that whole thing. So it was pretty cool. it was fun.
That's a dream track, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was the trip where I got this cup from. So this has lasted me a long time. All right, so let's go ahead and get into some of these topics here because there's some pretty cool stuff I want to talk about. If you didn't catch it, last Saturday was Super Talk. It's the bi-weekly sister show to this show, so it won't be on this Saturday, but it'll be the following Saturday. The reason I bring it up is because we were talking about the James Gunn news, the whole thing with him being fired by Disney for some tweets decade ago or whatever. If you want that whole conversation, go back and watch that. Leave your comments on that, input on that conversation over there. But today we wanted to kind of look forward instead of into the past and look at maybe some potentials that could replace him, because they are still moving forward with Guardians 3, right? It's kind of a big part of everything. So somebody's got to do it. There's a couple options there. They try to get somebody that can match the look and feel really closely. Or because spoiler alert, a lot of folks have died. They could go with a whole new team and a completely different feel, right? As we all know, over the years, it's been a rotation through the Guardians. So they could pick up Charlie 27, Vance Astro, a whole bunch of others that have actually been kind of in there already. Yeah. So a couple options would be, I don't know if this isn't probably going to happen, but I know J.J. Abrams is really good at matching the look and feel of something that's come before. He did it with The Force Awakens. He did it with Star Trek. He's done it with a few others. So if they were going to pick someone to do that, I think he could match what James Gunn did. Not my first pick, though. Another option would be the Russo brothers, obviously very familiar with the franchise, right? So there's that. And then Legend beat me to it. The director of Thor Ragnarok, Taika Waititi.
I agree with that one.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a good one.
Yep. Yeah. Got the comedy. It's still, space. It'll be a pretty good fit. So I know. What do you guys think about those? We'll call the Russo brothers one pick. So what do you think about those three options?
I think that JJ is the third best of those that you presented. I would say, or maybe you could say second best, with Russo's being 1A, and I think Taika Waititi being the best choice, being number one. I think the reason that you won't get the Russos on it is just because they have a lot of other stuff on that plate right now. With the Avengers and stuff like that. So asking them to take over that, and then whatever is going forward. I mean, if they get a chance to, I guess, rest off of Avengers for a while and then just do that, maybe they'll take it on. But I don't know. I think if they did it, it would be a fun movie as well. But I don't know. That's my guess. That's my picks. Is Ty, then the Russos, then JJ.
Yeah. So the Russos have Deadly Class. They're doing TV show, which is really good. I'm looking forward to that. Quantum and Woody, which we know what that is. They're doing the next Ghostbusters movie. We don't really know what it is above and beyond that. Yep. And a couple other things, and that goes out to I'm going to say the end of 2019 into 2020. So yeah, they have a pretty full plate there.
Yeah.
Let me look up. Take away PD.
That's like,
yeah.
It's a good full plate to have, but it's just to then throw the Guardians on top of it, that's going to weigh them down, I think, a little bit too much. Yeah. Even though I think they do a fun job with it.
Biggie's in the live chat. He says Zack Snyder. Yes, no, maybe. Too dark. Too dark.
Not even too dark. Just bad director.
Yeah. They are saying that James Gunn, and I kind of agree with this. Personal issues aside, just from his stylizing, he would be a good fit for the Geoff Johns Green Lantern movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
More so than Guardians.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want what the Ragnarok director for Guardians.
Yeah, and his schedule here, it looks like, is wide open. So let me see, directors.
I think he would just be able to give it a fun feel, Yeah.
He's doing What We Do in the Shadows TV show, Jojo Rabbit, whatever that is, and that's it. So he's open to bring on another project. So yeah. Right. I think we found our director, folks.
We've done it.
Yeah. Damn. Comics with Bueller's here. What's up, Comics with Bueller? Legend says Rian Johnson would suck as a Guardians director, considering the Star Wars community sucked.
Thank you.
Yeah, I never considered Rian Johnson for that. Taika's got the comedy. He's obviously the Ragnarok was where it was in space. Where are the Guardians?
Well, not just that, but I don't think. I gotta be honest. I don't think Rian Johnson has a whole lot of experience. I think that the thing is that before Star Wars, what did he do? Like somebody said, he did like Looper or something like that. So he doesn't have a whole lot of experience. But then again, Disney hasn't really had a whole lot of people with a whole lot of experience directing a lot of their films to lead up to the whole Infinity War movie. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No problem, Bueller. Comics with Bueller said, thanks for the comment you left on Comic Tom 101 about me. Yeah, absolutely, man. Definitely Bueller's relatively new to the community, I would say. But really great content, a lot of good stuff there. Just overall a really good channel and good positive energy, which is something that I'm drawn to with the channel. So they were saying something, I forget exactly, like recommendations and stuff. And they were talking about if you've ever heard of Comic Tom 101? No, they're a fairly new channel, but there's like a podcast. He's on Instagram and stuff. Good stuff. Good talk there.
I feel like I've seen it. Yes.
Yeah, I actually learned about Comic Tom 101 during the whole PGX thing that was recently, because he had done like a show about it.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody linked to it, so I watched it. And yeah, cool channel. So they were talking about him, and I'm like, yeah, I second that. Definitely, good dude. So that's what he's saying there. And do you have Thor: God of Thunder #6?
Yeah, saw that. I responded. Yeah.
Okay.
And Gomez asked how many copies I have. I may actually have a couple of that one because I bought that whole run as a run, and then I randomly bought a whole bunch of other Thors. So like, it just shows up. So I may have a couple. If I have more than one, with what's happened in that, it being like the first symbiote or whatever, what was it? Like the God symbiote?
Yep. Yeah. So people were pushing issue 2 from that run as well.
Got it also.
Yeah, there you go.
Good to go. Hey, it pays to be a Thor collector.
Yeah.
Exactly. If I could sell the books, but I won't.
Yeah, you do that. Like, I'm going to buy a couple of these. I'm going to flip one and keep one. And 2 years later, I'm like, I still have 2 of these?
Dude. Holy crap. Yeah. Or you buy a variant cover. You're like, I'm just going to buy this to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Nope. Still got
it. Goes right in the box.
Yep.
Yeah. So, Dark Avenger C86, what's up, man? Nice to have you here. He says Justin has all the Thors. That's right.
Trying.
I'm surprised he parted from a Better A Bill first appearance over the weekend.
I found another stash of those.
Nice.
It was sounding like, huh?
That's what you got to do. You got to see, keep finding them. I mean, if you have the ability to grab it, why not?
Yeah, they just kind of show up. I don't even question it anymore.
That would be cool if Taika puts them in that Guardians movie.
See, and he's got the sense of humor that he could pull it off very well.
Right, but you don't want him talking like Korg.
No. I don't want him to be Beta
Hey, what's up, guys? Yeah, be funny. All right, cool. Speaking of kind of changing things around, something that came up interesting was something Geoff Johns was talking about. He did an interview during San Diego Comic-Con. I think it was with Collider. Maybe it was with somebody else. I forget who it was. Anyways, I was asking him about, the Green Lantern Corps movie and what's up with that. They actually had a like the DC panel, and they did like a sizzle reel for the upcoming movies. They with the logo and stuff, and it said like DC, the worlds of, I forget what it said, something. I'm sure they'll tell us. So they had like Shazam and Aquaman, and they also showed the Green Lantern on the sizzle reel, which leads a lot of people to think that might be, and Wonder Woman, that might be one of the upcoming movies, like moving up quickly on the slate of movies. So they were asking him about it, and he said it's a complete reimagining, just like he did with the Green Lantern Rebirth comics. He said, hopefully I'm going to be delivering a script that Warner Brothers loves and DC likes, and that they want me to make. It's going to celebrate the mythology and reinvent it in a different way. But also, if you've read my Green Lantern run, it's very much in line with some of the stuff we've done there. So that should give you an idea of what they're kind of going for with that movie. But it's interesting that they're going for like a complete reimagining. I was actually, there was another part, I don't know if it was the same interview, they were asking him about the suit. And they're like, yeah, with that last movie, it was just all CGI. So do you want to do that, or do you want to do like more practical effects, like an actual suit? And he said he really hasn't gotten that far into the minutia of it, but because he's writing, he likes to really get into those types of that minutia, because all of those little things build up to be important to the movie. So who knows what we'll get from that. But he does say it is a complete reimagining, just like he did with his Green Lantern run. So there you go.
I think the suit was pretty cool, even though it was all animated. I mean, I know the movie wasn't the greatest, the last Green Lantern film, but I like the suit. I'm right now currently getting all my first appearance of Kyle Reiner slabbed and just setting to the side until any kind of movie announcement or whatever. And I recommend that's what a lot of people do, because I think the first appearance of Hal Jordan might be kind of out of reach.
Out of reach, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Alan Scott.
Even Alan Scott's probably out of reach as well.
Well, yeah, that's Golden Age. Yeah, that's super out of reach.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. You can never. I would always say, take a look and see what you can get, because there's sometimes Golden Age ends up being affordable, more affordable than because Alan Scott, isn't as popular as Hal Jordan. So it's just like you may be able to get some of his a little easier than you could, some Hal Jordan stuff, unless you're going like 90s. But if you're going like Silver Age, some of that might end up being more expensive or on the same level, depending on when you look at the two together. So
yeah.
And regardless of how the last film turned out, it's inevitable that Sinestro is going to be either the villain or a major villain.
Well, the thing is that's what they messed up in that movie. Like, because I can say it like this, Ryan Reynolds as the Green Lantern wasn't the worst choice, but it wasn't the best choice either. But for his part of it, they introduced Carol, so she's gonna end up becoming Star Sapphire. The worst part of that movie was that villain that they had that would just sit there and scream with the big head. That dude, it was horrible. And then the parallax thing that they did was stupid. But it was just like but there was, if you watch it again, there up to certain points it was redeemable. Like it kind of redeemed itself, and then it would just completely go off the rails again because they'd show something stupid. But it's like they had something there, and I just don't know why they went like so far out from what would have been good. Because I mean they could have just
That's
had
her name.
Sinestro,
her name. Jillian Perlman. Sorry.
They could have had Sinestro in the role they had him in, where he's just kind of he's starting to go rogue. He's not quite evil yet, but he's just kind of like going rogue, and then jealousy corrupts him. He gets evil. They could do that. They just could have picked a better villain from the face. It doesn't even have to be like someone super huge or A-list. Just it's just an establishing movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I think they went wrong with it, and it was just like they couldn't bring it back once you saw it, it was just like, Jesus, I just wasted 2 hours watching this piece of garbage.
Yeah, exactly. Couple comments here. Jackio says Peter Tomasi and Gleason's run on GLC is the best that he's read. He definitely recommends it. Justin, you have a question from Chris in the chat?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. I see. All right, cool. And then let's see here. Stay Puff says, I still want that first appearance of Jon Stewart. And then Iconic Point says, get it now when no one wants it. I waited too long for DC Comics Presents 27. That went from a $20 book to a $60 book. So, yeah.
27 first Mongol? Right? I'm almost positive. 27 is first Mongol. 28 is second Mongol. And I think it's like Supergirl appearance as well.
Mm-hmm. So you think Mongol could be like one of the villains for the Green Lantern universe?
Yeah, I mean, well, if they ever do the Parallax story like right, he's definitely gonna be one, because like if they ever do it as a crossover with the Death of Superman storyline, it'll be one. Because I mean, regardless of if they do it or not, Mongol's the one that destroys Coast City, and that's who actually makes Jordan snap. So he'll be in there at some point. Absolutely.
I remember that, but isn't Mongol more of a Superman universe?
Sort of. I mean, because he they put him in there. Like he's in that that annual for the Man Who Has Everything. That's like one of his biggest stories. So a lot of people will go with that. But I mean, Mongol definitely has ties to Green Lantern as far as just being a villain, like a big villain that had a huge impact on him. So I think that you would see him in that. You'll see him in that movie at some point, whether he's a minor villain or something of that nature. He would definitely be in there.
Jesse, real quick, I'm glad you brought that up, Chris, because I know J. Rod Ham. I've met him a few times here in the Texas area, but this weekend, the guy Anthony, the art dealer that's been on the Comic Book Men, he's actually going to be here in Houston this weekend on his way back from San Diego, on his way to New Jersey or the East Coast, wherever he's from. But I'm glad Chris brought that up because, I actually remember seeing some Mongol original artwork and stuff like that done by Brett Booth at that.
What?
That he has for sale. So if anybody is interested, hit me up. Anthony's going to be here selling a crap ton of original art this weekend only. So
nice.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. You'll have to do a video on it if you can.
I'm going. You read my mind, sir.
So talking about DC Cosmic, it was just confirmed that Lobo is going to be on the season 2 for Krypton. So he's going to be one of the villains that's going back, Terminator style to get the old ancestors. So Lobo on screen. Finally,
I'm good with that. I like the first season of Krypton. So
it surprised me. It was good. I wonder though. I know that they were talking about a Lobo movie. How that affects it, and I know that DC is one of the ones that's pretty okay with having like the TV version and like the movie version being different.
Mhm.
But we'll see. But yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah,
I wanted to
cool.
say when we were talking about that Jon Stewart appearance. As I say, that's one that isn't quite cheap. I mean, depending on what you have for budget. So
great. Yeah.
if it's something that people aren't seeking out, like you say, grab that if you can. But it's still going to be a little bit up there. But I mean, it's definitely a good one to have. And when it does heat up, if it's in a cool period now, that's great. But when it does heat up, it jumps pretty high. So, I mean, that's a book that I would love to have, but just can't touch it.
What's it going for now?
First Jon Stewart
and say like a decent grade.
Yeah,
a 9.6 is going to push about 12 to 1400, somewhere around there.
That ain't no cheap book. What the hell?
It's a lot. No, it's a lot. He's a Silver Age character, right?
No, he's Bronze.
Bronze Age. Okay, it's cheaper than I thought it was going for.
Mm-hmm.
And then don't forget about Guy Gardner. I mean, he might show up too.
Yeah.
With his boots, cowboy boots.
Yeah.
Yeah, and his cool jacket. Gotta have a cool jacket.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, I would say if you're looking for it raw, not graded, it's still gonna run you in like the $200 plus range. I mean, depending on grade and all that, because I mean, I see prices ranging from like $160 to like $350. So it's just like it's a tough book. It's one that people seek out, and it's a tough one to grab. But if you get the money, man, go for it. Because if he does end up in a movie or something happens with him, like it's only going to go up higher, and it's not, if this is a down period for it, it's not going to come back down for a while as soon as it's announced.
Yeah, cool. All right, one more DC thing, and then we'll get into the X-Men stuff. Okay. So the Batman, the Matt Reeves movie, the Batman, kind of confirmed. Well, I guess it's still rumored technically, but it's going to be based or partly. It's combining 0 Year and Year One, but yet somehow it's not an origin story. So I guess it's kind of like he's already Batman for just a little bit of time and just like jumping into it and learning how to do it. But he's going to be much younger. So that's kind of like what we know a little bit more about the Batman movie.
Year one and a half.
Year One was the Frank Miller magic. Yeah. And then 0 Year was the Scott Snyder stuff.
Right. So this could be like
1.25.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So Duke Thomas pre-Signal is going to be potentially going to be in that movie.
How old would he be?
That's a good question. I mean,
like a baby? If Batman's only been doing it for a year?
Yeah.
He's still got to run through like 19 Robins before he gets to the Signal.
That's right. Yeah. Well, they may be doing like the whole time slip phenomenon, like with Marvel, like the continuity is like on a sliding time scale.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I just think that
only the Flash can fix it.
Yeah. Or, it's just a alternate reality.
E.T. Oh, yeah.
Probably is E.T. I don't know where he's looking.
Yeah. Well, that news will make Year One go up. Probably not as much as like Dark Knight Returns. I know that book, it's just one of the iconic books for Batman that everybody wants to have and everything. So, but Year One.
Sorry, Legend was asking me a question.
Year One though has been pretty much affordable. You can get all for under $60, but that's gonna go up now because people are gonna want to get it. So Might be one to pick up and trade if you don't have it already and you don't want to overspend.
He picked that one movie out of there. That's pretty good. That's good. So Legend in the chat was asking me about one particular movie out of all the movies, but it's over here. So I don't know how he saw it.
Yeah, I'm like,
it is next to Taken.
Really hard.
He's like, is that E.T. there over there next to Taken? But isn't that off screen?
Legend must have a
How
massive.
did you see that?
It's got a massive screen
Possibly
with
seen
a
it.
crazy resolution on it or something.
Yeah, it's next to Moonraker, Tommy Boy, then E.T., then Taken, and then I get some Turtles and Tron and Terminator. It's all the T's. So, all right. So, no, we can see it. Okay, you can see it. Cool. I don't know how.
got you up on the big screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, our screens are cut off a little, I think, in the boxes, but.
Oh, you know, yeah. You know, I had the thing pulled over, so that's why it was off my screen, but not. Okay. Anyways, so Scott Snyder and Zack Snyder are not related. I just want to answer that question. Okay.
So X is taller than the other.
Yes. All right, so X-Men stuff. There's a lot of X-Men stuff to talk about. First, and kind of why this, I mean, the solicits came out for October. So a lot of the stuff I want to mention is going to be kind of from that. But also, really big news is that tomorrow, which is the 27th, Friday, that's the day that Fox's shareholders are going to be voting on whether to accept Disney's offer or not. So big day tomorrow in terms of that news. But we'll get into the comic stuff in a second here, but we've heard some things about kind of like DC wants to start with a clean slate moving forward here when this happens. So what they want to do is axe or shelf New Mutants and shelf X-Men Dark Phoenix. Maybe wait for the streaming service to put those out. I know. I was really looking forward to that New Mutants movie. Also, they said just forget about the Gambit movie. That's just not going to happen.
Wow.
Right? Which kind of like that's been we've known that for years. Let's say years on that. But also, they're talking about Disney already has, or Feige, I should say, already has unofficial plans for Galactus and the Silver Surfer. Mm-hmm. And the way that they're going to bring the mutants into the MCU is through the Eternals.
Oh, wow.
So this is all like not official, but still interesting. And I'm kind of upset. I was looking forward to that New Mutants movie.
Yeah. It's almost done, right? It's like they had to do reshoots, right?
Yep. They did, and that was one of the things that they said was like what they had to do reshoots. They didn't like a lot of it. The studio didn't. The girl who plays Magic, Anya Taylor-Joy, she didn't. She was having issues with one of the other cast members, so a lot of issues there. What they wanted to do, and they didn't like the director's take on it. So what they want to do is go back and do like reshoot like 60% of the movie, but with a new direct. I know, but they really didn't like what he did. It wasn't like dark enough and stuff. And then they wanted to kind of bring in a new director and just do all these reshoots and kind of like do that under the radar, so just kind of like hope nobody notices, but we brought in a new director for this. But then they realized when all this came up with the merger that it was like really becoming a reality. They basically just, that's why it was stalled. Like it was supposed to come out this year, and it was pushed back the whole year. They're like, let's just push it out because we don't want to officially say it's not happening yet. We'll just delay it a year and a half. And then, but now it's coming out that it's pretty much going to be like a shelved thing, at least until the Marvel streaming thing becomes more of a reality.
Wow. So are they basically taking it out of, like, is it never going to see a theater, or is it just going to be
no theater, maybe like the streaming version of straight to DVD.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's quality, awesome, but I mean, and I can understand that, because if you're starting a new streaming service and you're trying to get people to hook onto that rather than Netflix and stuff like that, you're gonna need something that's really good and that's gonna set you apart. So I can understand that. it's just 60% new director, all the rest of it. It's just, I almost feel like you should just start over. It's just like, all right, so we're just going from scratch again because nothing we just don't like what we did. So you know what? Everybody just take 5. We'll get back to it at another point. I wonder if they're gonna have to recast people.
Yeah, I think that they will. Like I said to that girl, you guys know I like magic. I was kind of excited to see her on like live version of the character.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, she was having issues with one of the other castmates, and they didn't say exactly who. But I think that if Disney wants to do something with the characters, that they'll probably recast, a couple of them at least. What they're saying for X-Force is that might become Deadpool 3 with the subtitle of X-Force instead of its own thing, which makes sense,
You know what I was thinking is that this is just me. I think that what they should probably consider is, if you do a movie like a New Mutants, you could, promote your streaming service in the film because so many people go see the film, and especially if it's good, like a Deadpool or something like that. You promote the streaming service, then maybe like a continuation, part 2 or whatever in the streaming service. I don't know. I understand you need to build up the streaming service, but just putting everything on the streaming service and telling everybody, hey, this is where the stuff is at. You just got to pay $8 a month or whatever. Might not be the best approach, in my opinion.
Well, I like what DC is doing, right? They have their DC Universe streaming service coming out, and they have a whole variety of content. So they're hitting movies, TV shows, comic books are going to be on there. So it's pretty cool. And I actually, it's funny, we talked about Comic Tom 101 earlier. We did a video, I think it was today, it might have been yesterday, and he was talking about how they're going to, say you watch the Swamp Thing show. What they're going to have is the comic books up, and instead of just kind of showing a random ad for a CW show, which they won't have because of the streaming rights with what do you call it, with Netflix, so they won't have those. But what they'll do, say you watch Swamp Thing, what they'll do is show you, hey, we got these digital Swamp Thing books in the streaming service. You want to read these? So it's kind of that it's a smart algorithm to where it'll base your comic book suggestions on what you were watching. So that's pretty cool. In terms of for new people, it might bring in people who want to watch the shows but don't read the books. Yeah, now it might bring in some new folks and give them a targeted suggestion, because we've always talked about that disconnect between the film stuff and the book stuff, right? So that might help in terms of that.
Yeah, no, I mean, whatever, and it's always the thing of getting more people to pick up the books or getting more people to get them digitally and read the books. So,
yeah. So Legend says, I'm glad you didn't ask about Justin's beard. Justin makes my face itch by looking at it. That's funny.
You just got to get past the itchy face.
That's right. Yeah, once it grows a little out past that, you're good, right? Mm-hmm. So, all right, cool. So, that's kind of why I wanted to talk about the X-Men stuff today, because it's kind of relevant to that news that we're going to get tomorrow. So, the first thing is August, right? We're getting into August. Extermination is going to start. It's what do you call it? A mini series. It's a little event they're doing.
Mutants just can't catch a break, man.
They really
try to kill you with this crazy cloud for a while, and now there's an event called Extinction. Man,
yeah,
rough being a mutant in the Marvel.
You have to go live in wherever. What you call it?
The mutants would probably be happy if they could open up a portal and move over to DC World. That
would be pretty cool. Just live over there for a while.
Yeah,
and yeah.
They would fit
in.
They would just be called metas,
Yeah, that's true. No more mutants.
Right. No discrimination. They're just metas.
That's right. No, but this event is actually it's a 5-issue miniseries. It's Ed Brisson, I think, is doing it. So basically what they're doing is sending the 05 back, the original 5, back to their time, which is good, right? I've been saying that whole thing with them should have been an arc or two, and that's it. But it's been years.
Yeah, when Bendis left the book, that should have been reset.
Yeah,
that should have been a part of him leaving. What was it, Uncanny 600 or
yeah, that was the last issue of Uncanny.
Yeah. So yeah, that one. I remember that one. It was like double sized and massive and stuff. He could have easily reset it there.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So they're finally going back though. When I don't know when 600 came out, but I know it was at least like
2 years.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah. So okay, so this will be a 5-issue mini. We did get an announcement that they're bringing Uncanny back. That's all we know right now. So there's no title. I mean, there's no team. Like we don't have the roster for them. We don't have the creative team or even a release date. The reason I bring this up right here is because if you think about the original 5, which was the X-Men Blue book that's ending along with X-Men Gold. If you look at the roster for those, it's, I mean, obviously the 05 for Blue, but like even with Gold, you had like Iceman and stuff on there. So my theory is that that new Uncanny book is going to be the new, like they got sent back to their time. They grew up, they're adults now, and that's them again, like the original team, but as adults in our time.
Well, if they are on the same timeline, which I think at one point they were saying that they're actually from a different one or something, who cares? Yeah. If they are, then that resets everything with the X-Men.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, because they have all this new knowledge and stuff. Right. Yeah, from their time here.
Especially Jean. Jean knows everything that happened.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, yeah.
Because she got it from somebody's brain not long after she came to this time frame.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be a massive reset for all. That would be awesome.
You know what you do at that point?
Be tricky.
Make Jean a villain.
What?
Make Jean a villain at some point. It's an alternate.
Her name was Madeline Pryor.
Yeah, you make Madeline Pryor. It'll be the Jean that can't take how, like, let's say some things not going the way that the way that she knows it's gonna go, and she's like too much, you know what I mean? And out of a want to do good, she basically becomes like Cyclops. Out of a want to do good, she becomes evil, and then they have to battle her.
Jason said, "I bet Jean dies again."
That would be tricky because they had a big push with her, and she's team lead for Red, Tom Taylor's book. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what they're gonna do with that. Yeah. So that should be interesting, right?
Another way to bring Cyclops back.
Yeah.
That's what Extinction's all about, the resurrection of Cyclops.
Yeah. Hopefully he'll bring him back. Because he was right.
He was right. Cyclops was right.
That's right. So that's Uncanny. I'm glad that's coming back, even if it's just.
I am too. Just for the title alone, like it's
exactly.
If there's an X-Men book out, if there's only one X-Men book out, it needs to be Uncanny. You know,
right? I agree 100%. Yeah. So then we're getting also in September we're getting what do you call it? Return of Wolverine. So we have all like the hunt stuff right now. Excuse me, I'm sorry, blowing up your ear with that. It's 5-issue mini. Charles Soule and Steve McNiven, I think, is doing the art. So Wolverine's coming back. That's cool. So we have like what is it? Mystery and Madripoor, Weapon Lost,
Adamantium Agenda.
Yep, and Claws. Is it Claws of a Killer?
Don't know. Not reading any of them.
Something like that.
Yeah,
I'm not either.
I haven't read them either because we all know he's coming back, so we know they're gonna find him in this hunt.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
you will find him when he is ready to be found.
Yeah,
it's Wolverine. It's like, or when Jean needs him, he will come and run it
conveniently, right? Yeah,
right.
That'd be
that's the whole thing. Is like the last issue of the hunt. It's just like them arriving at like some place where X-Men Red is, and Wolverine's just like in a tree.
Just hanging out, eating berries.
I'm following Jeannie around.
Following her scent.
Right.
Yeah. Jackie said Old Man Fire Claws is coming back. Yeah, he's got the hot claws. There's that image that Charles Soule just put out recently with the hot claws, you know.
Right. He can make popcorn now. It's awesome.
That's right. Pretty cool. Ed Brisson, in the did an interview, something. He said, I have a quote here. He says, I think it's been understood. This is in regard to the original 5 going back for Extermination. That comes out August 15th, by the way. It's 5 issues, mini. But he says, I think it's been understood for a while now that they need to go back to their own time. This story hammers home the how and why of it. We get into the implications of why them being here is a bad idea for the long term. Boom. So he agrees with us.
Right. Well, the whole thing with what I was reading on it or whatever was, the whole thing of if something happens and they happen to die now before they go back.
Yeah.
True. That's going to be a part of it is I think it's going to be a race of somebody figures that out and goes after the young X-Men to try to kill them before they can send them back in time.
Maybe it's a Lobo.
Maybe it is. Or it's
crossover time. Yeah.
That's how he trained Crush.
That's right. Orange Crush.
Mm-hmm.
I always think of that monster truck, Orange Crush. So we have Blue and Gold that are ending in September, right? Red will be continuing. Astonishing and Weapon X will be the remaining team books. And there's individual books, but those are going to be your team books with the Uncanny. But they're adding in, and the reason I'm mentioning that is because they're adding in X-Men Black, which will be coming out in October, I believe, right? That comes out in October?
Right, but that's just a series of one-shots.
Yes. 5 issues. You have Magneto, Mojo, Mystique, Juggernaut, and Emma Frost.
Did you say Mojo?
Mm-hmm.
I did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mojo's
I think we've seen him since the 90s, right?
Mojo World, all that.
Yeah, Mojo is a cool villain.
They had there was another Mojo World storyline that ran between Gold and Blue not too long ago.
Wasn't he in Battle World too? Didn't he have something going on?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be Scott Aukerman and Nick Bradshaw in that book. J. Scott Campbell is doing I believe it's an open order variant for each of those. So there you go, for whatever that's worth. Yeah.
Mojo.
So that's all villain folks. I don't know if it'll continue anything after that. But pretty interesting concept, Magneto getting a book and stuff. So
yeah, it reminds me kind of how they did Cosmic Powers back in the 90s, where it's all these cosmic villains. So Galactic, Tyrant, Thanos. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Marvel's version of Villains Month.
Yeah, exactly. And that'll be October. So villains, Halloween, it's a good fit. Yeah. Also, we're this kind of it's talking about solicits and stuff upcoming, but not necessarily X-Men. But Marvel Knights is coming back.
Oh,
Donny Cates on that.
Yep.
And in the October solicit, what's that?
They're putting Donny Cates to work. That guy's writing.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. That though, honestly, he's good, but what's his limit?
Right. We saw what happened to Bendis.
Exactly.
We've seen what happened to multiple writers, but then again, if you're in his position, they're like, "Hey, we want you to write a few more books, and here's, we'll shovel some more money at you or whatever." You're probably like, "Okay," you're like, "I'll do it.
Exactly.
No problem. It's gonna be good."
Like you said, on one hand we have Bendis, but on the other hand we have somebody like, say, Cullen Bunn, who's writing 40 miniseries and 5 ongoings per week.
That's crazy.
And he's doing it fine. But assuming he doesn't burn out, I'm sure that's going to be full of some cool stuff. And how he's doing with Venom and even the Thanos stuff. He's going to make that hard in the paint.
Well, that's a question that I have with something like that. Is where do you how far would the quality have to dip for you to say, all right, he's burning out? I mean, just because he's on a few books. He's on, what is it? At least 6 books.
Yeah.
I mean,
Bunn?
Yeah.
No, Kate. You're talking about Cates.
Yeah, Cates is on at least 6 books. I mean, it seems like every time I see a solicit, it's just his name is attached somewhere. It's just you know, it's not like he's a cover artist. It's like, oh, I'm just going to do covers for these, but you know what I mean? Like he's writing these things. So it's just like, I mean, I wonder if he was writing this in conjunction to like the stuff that he was doing on Thanos. I mean, hopefully the stories are mostly done, you know what I mean? So that he can just kind of touch up on certain things and then go on to other stuff. That'll save him from the burnout. But it's just like, you know, just I worry that they're going to spread him thin because it's just like they're going to put, you know, if they put him on an event, then you're going to have some trouble.
Yeah. Hopefully they'll be cognizant of that because he's one of their superstar writers right now. I would say he's at the top. Like he's the one, you know. There's been stuff that I'm like, I don't know. And then I saw it was Donny Cates, so I went ahead and picked it up, you know. Yep. So he's definitely moving that needle, so to speak. So just thought I'd throw that in there. The other one that sounds pretty cool is Marvel Zombie. Not Marvel Zombies, but Marvel Zombie. This was in the October solicit. It's going to be written by W. Maxwell Prince, who you probably don't know offhand, but he's the guy who did Ice Cream Man, or does Ice Cream Man. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for Image.
Okay.
Ice Cream Man has a very, very like Twilight Zone type feel.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that. Like, I'd be interested to see what he's going to do.
Yeah.
You know, so this is this going to be? Have they already said it's going to be like a Marvel horror title, or is it just kind of like?
I would have to pull up the solicit for it. I can do that. We can
the title you would kind of assume, but I don't know if it was going to be like a war book or horror. Yeah.
Well, no. What I'm saying is that like, I mean, is it going to be like legitimately horror, or is it going to be kind of like just how implied horror, I guess you could call it, where it's just like it's not really a horror book at all. You just have a monster character that's just going through being like heroic and you know normal times, not but all the supernatural appeal to it doesn't really have much going. Like if they're going back to like monsters type books, that would be awesome.
Okay, yeah. So I'm pulling up the solicit here. I'll show you the image that came along with the solicitation, if it'll show. Present to everybody. Okay, so that's it. And it's another small town setting, just like we have with his other book, Ice Cream Man, right? It's in a town and stuff, like a weird like town when stuff happens. Okay, so it says Marvel Zombie will focus on a small population of survivors trying to save the last living people in Marvel Universe. It's unclear whether the series will tie directly to the previous Marvel Zombies continuity. So it's basically
wait.
series that pits Marvel heroes against zombified versions of other Marvel characters. So
no, all right. So you know what this is going to be? You know who this is? Who this is? It's Frank Castle.
Yeah, Frankencastle. Yeah.
Because every new character is going to turn out to be Frank Castle.
Yeah.
They saw gold there with the Cosmic Ghost Rider. You're just going to keep throwing it at us. He doesn't have to wear the skull anymore because he looks like the skull.
Yeah. There we go. Years after an incurable zombie virus ravaged the world, a small colony of survivors is protected by the Marvel U's few remaining heroes, including Spider-Man, Daredevil, and Falcon. But when their last chance at salvation arrives, will they be willing to sacrifice their own humanity in the process? Dun, dun, dun.
Probably.
And it does say parental advisory, so that means you're going to be getting some blood and gore. So, sounds pretty neat. I'll check it out. Stay Puft does not want Frankencastle. Okay. Okay, so that's coming out in October. Another one that sounds, I don't know. I'm going to check it out. It sounds kind of interesting. Next couple do, actually. So Spider Force. You ever heard of it? Probably not. It's brand new. 3-part miniseries. It's got
you were joking about that.
No. It's Jessica Drew, Kane, Ashley Barton. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Ashley Barton. Really weird origin there. And then 2 new characters, which are Spider Kid and Astro Spider. Those are confirmed as new characters. Ashley Barton, she comes from the Old Man Logan story. So what happened? Again, this Clint Barton, Hawkeye, slept with one of Spider-Man's kids. Well, not kids, one of his daughters, and had a baby. that baby is Ashley Barton. When she became like her own version of like the Spider-Woman or whatever, you know what her name was for a while?
No.
Spider Bitch. That's
Seriously?
what they called her. Yeah. And then when they brought her over to like main continuity, they changed it to not be. They changed it to Spider-Woman. I think it was Spider-Woman.
Are you for real?
So that's like her whole. Yeah, it was Spider-Woman, but yeah. So she is the product of Peter Parker's daughter's little rendezvous with Hawkeye. So yeah. So, you can't make. Well, I guess I was gonna say you can't make this up, but you know they did. So, and then the next one is Spider Girls. It's another mini. It's got Mayday Parker, was the original Spider Girl. She first appeared, and this is a tie into what we're gonna talk about next. She first appeared in a What If.
Yep.
Right. Then you got Anya Corazon. She eventually became Spider Girl, but she was Aranya for a while. And then Annie Mae I think she's from Renew Your Vows.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're all gonna be like as a thing right now when that comes out. Oh,
I'm gonna pick that up. That could be cool. I like the Anya Spider-Woman just because she had like the cool black suit, you know, and that was really cool.
Yeah. And her name is Anya. So her original like Gnome Nagir or whatever was Aranya. So that's pretty cool. Ties into her name, you know.
I always thought it was arachnid. Maybe I'm thinking something else.
Yeah. And then Annie Mae, I think her name was like Spiderling or something like that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you got as a separate title, Spider-Gwen coming back, relaunching as Ghost Spider. New team, and so I don't know how it's gonna be, you know, because the first two volumes had a very distinct like art style and stuff, so I don't know how it's going to be. However, there is a really beautiful art germ cover for that first issue. I don't know if you've seen the art for that, but wow. I mean, if I don't pick up any of the run, I will just pick up that one, you know, cover. So
why did they tell us why her name is changing? I haven't read Spider-Gwen in a while, so
no, she's not like a ghost or anything, so I don't know. And there was a older character named Ghost Spider, so it's not like that's like the first time that name's come out. I don't know. She was never called Spider-Gwen though, you know.
Right, she was Spider-Woman.
Right. So I don't know, to be honest with you. Maybe they'll explain it somehow. I mean, that would be something that they should probably let folks know.
I don't know. I looked up Ghost Spider, and the only thing is it talks about it's got a sack.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's all. So maybe because she wears a hood, like she's got a sack on her head. I don't know.
Okay. Isn't the sack where the spider usually like has the babies?
It's what one would think.
Yeah.
Pregnant. That's what.
I don't know. Google failed us on that one.
Last panel of yeah, she did, didn't she? So she finally called herself Spider-Gwen.
Roll Star. That's funny. Gosh, this spider rolls off the tongue like Roll Star.
Yeah. I still think. Oh yeah, she does. Mind the camera. So the last panel of she calls herself Spider-Gwen there. Right there. She goes, "I'm Spider-Gwen," and then it ends. So yeah, that's cool. All right, so let's get into something that should be pretty fun. Here's someone talking. Oh, is that one? Okay. So what's coming up is a series of some more one-shots, but it's the What Ifs. They're coming out in October. You got Spider-Man, X-Men, Punisher, Ghost Rider, Thor, and Magic. They're all getting their own one-shot, so they sound pretty cool. And I think that's more of those types of books need to come back because those are like really fun things. Like we've talked about it. I know, Chris, you know, you were talking about this, like saying that those were like one of your first reactions, if I remember when you heard about them was, yeah, well, they should also bring back Marvel Spotlight, Marvel Premiere, all those other ones too. So hopefully like this whole like change in regime under Cebulski is kind of like it's changing things. It's bringing back all of that stuff, that cool stuff. So one of those is the What If. So I wanted to ask you guys and everybody in the chat as well, tell us, or if you're watching this later, leave a comment. What were some of your favorite What If issues over the years? There's been plenty of volume. There's been a ton of them. A lot of them kind of revolve around like, what if this person didn't die, or what if this person did die, or this person,
or like big event, like what if the Kree won the Kree Skrull War, or things like that. The High Evolutionary. I think like the first What If book I ever picked up was the What If Daredevil killed the Kingpin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. That kind of like spurred me on the other ones, and of course, I found this What If number 10 that now I have lots of.
I was gonna say that was probably your favorite, right?
Yeah. I think so. Just a fun story.
Yeah,
but I mean, like I said, that's volume 1. Volume 2, I think for most of us is where we first picked up or first looked at a What If book.
Yeah.
For me, it was definitely volume 2. And then, I remember friends. So I got into that type of stuff because we used to collect the cards when I was little, and they had the cards and this and that. And I remember, people were just like, oh, I just checking through and like, oh, I got this What If book. What if Wolverine? What if the Hulk had killed Wolverine?
The whole
with the metal skeleton on it and everything.
Yeah.
I remember reading that. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then I picked up one. I remember the first one that I had picked up on my own was what if Doctor Doom had become Sorcerer Supreme instead of Doctor Strange? And it's actually it was a really good read. Like, really cool stuff in there. And then I remember picking up. This is years and years ago, but like super cheap. I picked up a lot of volume 1. And I think my favorite one that I came across was what if Conan was around in the 20th century? Is one of the funniest reads you'll ever have. Conan basically, becomes a pimp because he's in New York City and he sees a pimp, getting money and looking good and everything, and he's just like, asks the guy, like, what's this all about? What are you doing? And like the girl comes to him, she's like, look, I work for you. You should protect me from him. And then so Conan becomes a pimp, and he's just like, just running around, just like beating people up and getting all this money. So he's, get the big suit and everything like that. It's hilarious. Like if you could find one, what if Conan existed in the 20th century? It's hilarious.
Yeah, that sounds exactly like what if exactly like Conan, right?
Yeah, and I said the other one for comedy reasons, the one that's like funny is what if no one was watching The Watcher? That one's funny too.
Yep, I like that one.
You have so many like just like foolish like team ups and stuff like that on there.
Is that the one where you had the dress on the cover?
Yeah. Yep.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I think my
like a toga.
Yeah. There's a bunch of funny stuff in there, but it's just like it's just like what if what if the leader bought a hat? So he gets like a double-headed beanie. Oh, it's so funny. It's just chock full of like stupid things like that. But that was the best part about What If was just like, you got all these really serious, cool stories, but then they also had like these fun ones that would just make you laugh.
Yeah. The one that I remember the most, I think, is the like what if Spider-Man and Mary Jane didn't get married, and then the next one was what if he married the Black Cat.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, there's a bunch of good ones. Like cover wise, one of the best ones is number 4 from volume 2. What if the alien suit possessed Spider-Man? That is the first Venomized characters. I don't care what anyone tries to say. That book predates that Thor. No, that book predates the Quasar with Thor on the cover. And that one, so the symbiote takes over Thor and takes over the Incredible Hulk. So those are the first Venomized characters. It's not recognized. If you go anywhere, people are like, no, I don't know. But that one is like, if you look at everything else.
Well, you got what if the Venom symbiote took over the Punisher, I think, because remember it had like a Punisher symbol. That was after.
Yeah, well,
that was
so
44.
Like, what if it took over Punisher? Okay, fine.
Issue
But
44.
this actually, I mean, if you're gonna go technical, like, because the suit jumps on, like it realized after it sucks the life out of Peter Parker, it hops onto Thor. He's like, "Oh, you're strong. Let me hop onto you." And then after that, it realizes that Hulk is stronger than him because he's starting to get angry, and then it jumps onto the Hulk. So it's just like that's the first time anyone else other than Peter Parker or Venom himself was actual Venomized. So that Eddie Brock, I should say, were Venomized. So that's the first. It's not recognized yet, but one day it will be.
Yeah. How about what if Silver Surfer possessed the Infinity Gauntlet?
That's what I want to buy. I can find it now though.
Yeah.
That was the very first one I ever bought off the newsstand. Before I even knew about comic shops, I found that in the gas station. I think I showed you guys. I got it signed by Jim Starlin, and I actually sold it.
You did?
I actually sold it, yeah. Somebody bought it on eBay.
It happens. We do that. But yeah, no, I'm excited about them bringing it back, though. I mean, a lot of possibilities, especially if the initial, run of ideas is successful, then, what we could get in the next run would be great, too.
Yeah.
What if Rogue possessed the power of Thor?
I had that one. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I have a bunch of them. This is like what if Peter Parker caught the burglar? That's one. There's also what is it? What if the original Marvel bullpen was a Fantastic Four? Of course, the first one is what if Spider-Man joined the Fantastic Four?
Yeah,
I'm actually reading
which
that
kind of came true. That came true, actually.
Yep.
In the new Fantastic.
It was like, yeah, exactly. Yeah, the new Fantastic Four.
Well, I mean, and then you have what we've said before, what we've talked about is that you have a wealth of just good stuff there, because you have what if Jane Foster became Thor and then it happened? It's just like these are stories that you can have on the background, because these are just little one shots, but you can go ahead and you can flesh them out and make them into really good stories.
Well, I mean, and we know Marvel will create a character from a cover, so
yeah, true.
If any of these take off, we could definitely see that character magically appear.
Yeah. That one with Spider-Man as the Punisher, that looks really cool.
Yeah. Was it what if Wolverine joined Shield? What if Captain America was the president of the United States?
Jeff Johnson says one. What if Aunt May was a herald of Galactus? He says that was a funny issue. Yeah.
Yep.
Funny one. Yeah.
I mean, man, there's a ton of really good ones, and it's just like they're all real fun. Like, or what if Wolverine killed the Hulk? What if the Phoenix had not died? What if
Karen Page had lived?
Yep. What if Karen Page had lived? What if Deadpool? Not Deadpool. What if Daredevil worked for the Kingpin? What if Elektra had not died?
What if Wolverine joined Public Enemy? No, that wasn't it. It was what if
Fox and Chris was
Public Enemy #1. What if? Yeah, Jeff says, what if the Fantastic Four all had the same power? Yeah.
Man,
cool.
That
would it be?
I'm telling you. Just the potential to have those back and just be able to, enjoy those books again is going to be fun. So,
yeah. Are there any that you would like to see? Like, can you think of any that they haven't ever done that would be cool?
Off the top of my head, no. Just because I'm trying to think of
done so many.
Like, what if Civil War never happened?
Yeah, or Secret Empire.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, just I think the crazy part, seeing all the different just all the different combinations they can come up with, and then just kind of going from there. It's just like and then just seeing different characters in it, because I mean, there's a lot of characters that at the time, you're talking about Bronze Age, and then in the 90s, you know what I mean? That like they just centralize around certain ones. You're gonna see a lot of different characters that are gonna be focused on this one, just because it's a different time, and now there's different characters that are kind of more popular at the time. So it's just like I bet you they do some stuff with X-23, like something like what if X-23 was around during was it Giant Size or something like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What if
Miles
weren't stupid?
What if Miles Morales became Venom? That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I mean, what if the Ultimate Universe never died?
I was just gonna say that too. Actually, that's funny you said that.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, they would have to do like all the new characters, right? Like, what if Jane Foster never had cancer?
Yeah.
What if Deadpool joined the Fantastic Four? Is what Legend Storm says.
That'd be crazy.
I'm sure
Yeah.
there's gonna be a bunch of Deadpool stuff.
I think Ben would have killed him really quick.
Yeah, probably.
You're not family. I'll just smash you.
Get out of my house. Yeah.
No, me, I get to.
What if? Oh, so this is kind of like I feel like they've done this a couple of times. What if someone else besides Spider-Man had been bitten by the spider? So yeah, that's kind of like
It happened, and it was
It's
silk.
not silk. Yeah.
Silk, yeah. So a lot of this stuff ends up coming true. You know, obviously like with Jane behind Justin there. You know.
What if Gwen Stacy never died? You know.
Yeah.
All these different ones.
Like Rick became the Hulk.
I like
Yeah.
Legend Storm TV because he's like, what if Barry never messed with the timeline?
Yeah.
That would be cool if DC would do a what if book.
Yeah. What if Wally West was evil?
I mean, what is DC's closest? Would that just be their Elseworlds? Oh, Elseworlds?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Red Sun and all those ones.
Yeah. Red Sun is my favorite. That's a good
yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, those are some great stuff.
Yeah.
I
You
think
have
It's
at World's End.
Yeah.
That's a good one too.
Yeah.
What if Shang-Chi fought on the side of Fu Manchu? That was one. I was just reading one. What if I never read this one, but it sounds cool. What if Sergeant Fury had fought World War II in outer space?
Yeah, I saw that one too. I remember that.
Yeah. What if Bruce Wayne had Netflix? What if Jason Smith did free shipping? Yeah, so there's a lot of cool ones that they've done, and then some stuff that potentially could come out. Hopefully, if you guys like these things, buy the books. That's what Marvel listens to. If they see people buying those, they'll want to do more. So that's what I would say. With anything really, not just these. If you like the book or you like the character or whatever it is, let them know. By buying the book. That helps your shop. That helps Marvel know what to make and what not to make, assuming they listen to us. So, with these, I'm probably going to pick up all of them. Definitely, there's some that I'm more like drawn to right away.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'm going to pick up the whole set. They sound pretty cool.
Yeah, I probably will. Just because of what they are. We know it's a defined like miniseries type thing, so might as well get them all.
Well, not only that, but I think it's a good opportunity to get new readers too, because you don't need to worry about starting off in X-Men 655 and then got to go all the way back to #1 or anything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Working on it.
What if Hulk Hogan said his prayers but didn't take his vitamins?
What if Diamond packaged books with protected corners?
Ooh.
That would be a good one. They'd be saving some money. Yeah,
that's definitely a run I'm picking up, and I know for myself, like they're just fun reads, and sometimes, for me, it's just like it's good to pick those up and just kind of like just see what the creative imaginations over there are just coming up with just for fun stuff. So, and
what if The Rock finally told us what he was cooking?
Right. Scrambled eggs.
That's true.
I've been wanting to know all these years. There's that smell, but you just don't know what it is.
Exactly. You can smell it, but you don't know. And it's if you can smell it. Most people can't. Apparently, you really have to concentrate to smell what he's cooking.
That's right.
But
what if Rusev Day was on a different day?
The other thing too, outside of new readers and all the rest of that stuff, it actually gives them a chance to put some new talent to work on books. It's like you have different guys drawing and writing these titles, like what I mean, like it doesn't have to be a set lineup of people who work on it. Like every issue could be somebody different.
Mm-hmm.
you know, depending on how long they want to go with it. So there's, you know, if you think of it that way, outside of, you know, just for them to listen to us, it's like, you know what, you're gonna end up, you know, giving somebody potentially, you know, a shot at making some books. Who, you know, maybe right now they're just kind of hanging back doing like, you know, fill-in work and stuff like that, whereas now they can get out there and actually put some stuff out and publish in their name. So kind of a win-win in a way, especially if they put out good stories and they're fun. So I think that, you know, What If coming back is a good one. I think that I would love to see, like Jesse said earlier, that you know, Spotlight and Premiere, because that's a great way to bring out new characters. It's a great way to just have, you know, maybe like, you know, 2 to 3 issue runs of stories, like small things that kind of, you know, and maybe you do have a crossover here and there, but for the most part, it's just, you know, bring out a new character. You know, I mean, you can do origins that way, just things that kind of don't have to take up, you know, space within the actual title, so that you can kind of have, you know, more tighter storytelling in main titles. But then you have these other stories. It's like, oh, if you want to expand your reading, here's these ones. Spotlight on, you know, this guy. Spotlight on Cosmic Ghost Riders. You know, Marvel premiered this. You know what I mean? And it's like a 5-issue run, and you just get, you know, exclusive story of, you know, this character. Like it's just anything to get the creative.
Good way to test out new stuff.
Exactly. Anything to get creativity back and just kind of get people back into just, you know, making comics that are fun and making comics that, you know, that are just not all just formulaic and like that. I think is just, you know, that's something that's going to get comics back to what it was, how we grew up, and how everything is, you know, just to kind of get everybody back to, you know, just reading comics for fun again.
Yeah,
that's what I think. I mean, I'm not saying that, you know, if it's a business for you, that's great. I have no problem with that. But I think that, you know, if you are a comic reader, and if you're, you know, one who likes just to, you know, getting, you know, lost in all the, you know, stories and stuff like that, like these are the books that you want to be picking up. So hopefully they bring back some more.
Yeah, hopefully.
And also get rid of some of the titles that no one cares about. Like, we don't need a 7th Deadpool title, but throw in a What If, throw in a Premiere, you know what I mean? Those books, you know, that's what make things. That's what'll make things better.
Yeah, all those books you can actually put it in as a What If or as a Marvel Spotlight. You know, do the story there in anthology series instead of doing all these separate ones. I don't know. I put a link for the show on Facebook. There's the JLS Comics Facebook page, and we had a couple suggestions for some what ifs on there, so I wanted to read them to you guys.
All right.
What if the Avengers met the Incredibles? I'd also say, what if they met the Fantastic Four? Be like looking in a mirror, right? But hey.
Yeah.
What if the Guardians met the Legends of Tomorrow? Also, what if Bruce Wayne had become the Spectre?
That'd be kind of cool.
Ooh.
I mean, you won't get that from Marvel, but yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's right. Jackie says, what if wrestling was real? TiVo says, what if D's? What if D's nuts? What if Roman Reigns was over as a babyface? Yeah, let's get rid of him.
That would be something.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I don't know, like wrestling fans, are you guys like? It's pretty cool that they announced the all women's pay-per-view.
Evolution.
Yeah, that's a first. Obviously, that's just pretty huge.
Also, that ties into what we're talking about because it's also happening in October.
No, that's true. Yeah, ties right into the solicits, right? That's pretty cool. King says, "What if Rob Liefeld didn't cry on IG Live?" He's passionate, man. He gets his stuff. He's like a kid on Christmas morning with his boxes and his toys and his comics. He gets all emotional.
He really cried. Like, I don't know the context of that, but that's fun. What if the Muppet Babies are agents of Hydra? I love that one.
That would be cool.
That oh man, if Spider-Man was bitten by a radioactive flea.
No, that was the whole thing. Like Muppet Babies, so the cartoon. Remember, they're all in the nursery. Just outside those doors, it was a Hydra factory.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Green and white socks, man. Nanny, she was Hydra all the way.
Yeah, that could be. There's a movie coming up called The Happy Time Murders.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Jim Henson and Creature Shop style creatures.
Oh wow!
And it's like super raunchy and violent.
Yep.
Disney, no, not Disney. Sesame Street tried to sue them because one of their taglines was "No Sesame, all street." So like you can't do that. but the judge said that they could move forward with it. It's coming out next month. It's called The Happy Time Murders. You guys should check it out. I think Mr. Unknown would like it based on his suggestion.
You know what's funny? Actually, so this isn't the first. So this won't be the first movie to do that. There's one is pretty obscure, and it's very, very similar. And called it's actually directed by Peter Jackson. So this is one of the Jackson, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, early one for him. Yeah.
Early work. It's called Meet the Feebles. I don't know if you've ever heard it. Have you ever seen it? It's but puppets. They really do some messed up things, and like I think for a while it was banned, like just because a lot of my friend actually ended up introducing me to it because he had as a kid, they saw it in a video, so they didn't know anything about it. So like, oh, this looks like fun. So they went ahead and put it on, and next thing you know, about 20 minutes into it, they're swearing and doing all types of messed up things. So it's just like, you know what? His parents like, all right, we're not gonna watch this anymore. So then he ended up buying it. Later they re-released it on DVD, so he ended up buying it. And then, we watched it, and I was just like, this is horrible. Like horrible as in just content wise. Like, oh my god, like what are they doing?
Check out
But
that
it was funny. It was just messed up.
What?
It's a gold Iron Man.
Oh, gold Iron Man.
Funko.
Nice.
That's pretty cool. I thought it was
subject. Cool. I just got an email. All right.
Everybody go order that now.
Yeah. Gold Iron Man.
Right, meow.
What if Disney bought DC? Could happen.
Instead of Marvel.
Or both. What if Disney just bought them now?
Yeah.
They're like, we're just going to combine all the comic books.
Yeah, no.
Is that with Mario Van Peebles?
No. No, but yeah. Jack, you know what I'm saying. Like, that movie's like crazy. So this one reminds me of that. I bet you any amount of money though. This movie that's coming out is tame compared to Meet the Feebles. Like Meet the Feebles is going to be watered down just because it's still it's going to make it to theaters, but Meet the Feebles I don't think ever made it to theaters, so it's really raunchy and messed up.
Yeah, nice. Take the Time Collectibles, Brian B. in the chat. He says parents used to rent that movie from the video store he managed, thinking it was a children's film.
Yeah.
I think that did you guys hear or see? I think it was called Sausage Party.
Yeah.
It's
like Sausage Party.
Yeah.
Like it's like that, but it's crazy. Like it all and not to give too much, but it all centers around like this TV show. And so like basically so they have the Feebles themselves have this like whole big TV show, and all these people work for it and all this different stuff. And like the guy who runs it is like he's into all types of like organized crime and things like that. And then like just everything just goes so crazy. Like they start killing each other. There's like plots against people. There's a rabbit in it who's like the host of the show. He ends up having AIDS by the end of it. It's crazy.
That's funny. Wow.
I'm telling you, it's a funny movie, but it has to be like you gotta watch it in context. Though it's pretty messed up. It's a funny one.
Yeah, I'll have to look for that one. Yeah, for sure. Stay Puff says, "What if Disney bought everything?"
They're on their way.
Yeah, they pretty much have.
Yeah, they are.
Right?
Disney and Amazon will own everything.
Yeah. Wow, that sounds like a pretty hardcore story. Jeez. All right. So, what do you got? You got Sunday Morning Comics going on what day? On Sunday, right?
Sunday Morning Comics, everybody, 10 o'clock.
Sunday.
Sunday morning on Tuesday.
That's right. Hey, I've had those. That's happened before.
It's true. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's coming up. Normal stuff coming out of the channel. Good stuff as always. So looking forward to seeing what everybody else has got going on this weekend too.
Sweet.
What if next guy?
Right.
Edwin, you mentioned it earlier. You're doing the show this weekend, right? With the OA.
With the what? Oh yeah. I'm gonna hopefully get to my Anthony.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some footage of Anthony, and I'll probably get some footage of the show as well, the art show, and maybe get an interview with him or whatever. But other than that, I'm not doing much except hopefully getting a haul video out. It's been forever since I've done a video, and I've been pressing so many books lately. But other than that, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I'll be catching up with y'all stuff too.
Cool.
Toys
Sounds
R Us,
good.
Disney's roles were reversed. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
That's why I laughed.
They'd be out of business. What you got going on?
For me, just I'll be putting on my haul video, and then just kind of getting ready for Comic-Con. Fan Expo. I keep calling it Comic-Con because that's what it's been for years, and it's been Fan Expo for the past 2. But yeah, getting ready for that, and just getting books together that I want to get signed and things like that. So I'll have a video up this weekend, about my haul and stuff like that, and just kind of gearing up for the show, for the con and everything like that. So
when is that Fan Expo, Chris?
it is in 2 weeks. So 2 weeks from tomorrow, actually.
So I gotta get you my books, huh?
Yeah, man. Let's see what happens. Like just depends, because like the craziest part with it is that it's different. Like when it's a Fan Expo, this is what I'm learning now. So when it's Comic-Con, I feel like those work a little. Like when it was Boston Comic-Con, they would announce like the special artists and all that stuff, and you can go up and see them, and they charge you whatever they're gonna charge you at the table. Now these are all special engagements, so it's like you gotta pay. So you pay for your ticket to get in, you gotta pay to meet them, and then you get a certain amount of books signed. If that, so it's just like just in the case of Jim Lee. Like for Jim Lee to sign your books, it costs $100. He signed 3 books for you. If you want to get them witnessed for CGC, it's like I think it's like $150. It's ridiculous. It's like I'm not paying you another $150 on top of my admission to come in. Like that. That's
Yeah.
nuts.
Yeah, that ticket now just gets you in the door, basically.
Yeah.
That's it.
Like it's all. I feel like it's all to pay for the celebrities too, just because. I have I have the actual brochure for it. I'll show it on my channel just because I definitely I'm not liking the way that it's going because there's not really a comic feel to it anymore.
Yeah.
And you'll see why. I'll explain all that. But it's just it's a lot of money grab, and it's pretty. It's getting.
It's a pop culture con.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's just everything's going up so much. So it's just as much as if this was a couple years ago, I'd say absolutely send me whatever. But I can't guarantee that I'm gonna get to see different people, especially if it's like you start looking at the names, it's like, yeah, these people, it's like, yeah, they're all behind curtains that you gotta pay extra money to go to, and I'm not doing that. I would love to meet Jim Lee, but I'm not paying $100 for the signed books. I'm sorry.
Right. Just wait in the elevator.
Yeah.
You'll see him.
Hey, Mr. Lee.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, what if DC movies were all directed by M. Night Shyamalan or John Waters? And then Jack Yo says that would be definitely better than Zack Snyder. So I agree with that.
That would be cool because he's funny.
Yeah.
Shyamalan would be. I mean, I think you get more. I think you'd get close to what you get with Zack Snyder. It's just
there'd be like a crazy twist at the end.
Yeah.
You could never rewatch them. At least now you can rewatch them.
Yeah.
That's true.
They're hard to watch one time.
Yeah. But yeah, M. Night Shyamalan, it would be a one view, and then you're done. Okay, well, we figured out the twist. Never need to see that again.
Just like Wonder Woman's actually on drugs. What? That's just been drugs the whole time?
They're just in a state park, and there's not any monsters in the woods? Well, this is crap.
Although I don't remember what the twist was with that elevator movie. I remember watching that, and I was just like,
the elevator.
I don't understand the twist in this one. I probably didn't watch it all the way to the end. Because I like that movie, which actually I like to a point, but it was just it's still in the elevator and nothing's really happening. That's progressing anything forward. So I'm just gonna turn it off.
What was that movie? Not Devil.
I think it's called Elevator.
Oh, I don't think
it's called Devil. I'm sorry, it's called Devil.
Yeah.
And,
okay.
Yeah. So it's these strangers are in an elevator, and then it just all these freaky things are happening, and then they gotta figure out who's the actual murderer in there and everything. So it's just but I never watched it to completion, so I don't know the twist. The only movie I watched all the way through was Unbreakable. I know the twist in that one. I never saw was it Beast or whatever it's called, the one with James McAvoy,
the lady in the water.
No, the one where he's got all the personalities and stuff.
Split. Yeah, you got to see that. You got to see Split. If you see Unbreakable, you got to see Split because that all ties into Glass, which is his upcoming.
Yeah.
So you got to check that out.
It actually looked interesting, and it's been that one came out more recently, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that you know, he may have learned his lesson a little bit, because I think what happened with Shyamalan was that he just got too, you know, used to being, oh, he's great, he's the man, he's this
Like,
and that.
Remember
And
The Happening?
that movie, and people are like, but you know
Oh,
what?
The Happening. Gee.
They're just like, you know what? He's gonna pull it together though. They're like, don't you worry about it. He's got this going on. And then people were just like, oh wow, this guy really just fell off. We should have not said how good he was.
Yeah, I think like Signs was like his last good one, and then up until Split.
Yeah,
It wasn't great, but it was interesting. There's like lists out there of like some of like the most paused scenes in movies.
Yep.
One of them's like you know the leg cross, like the famous leg cross.
Yeah.
I'm talking about.
Karen Stone.
Karen Stone, right? Another one is from Signs when they're watching like the news and the alien crosses the alley. Yeah. So that one
by, just like
exactly.
that thing. I started laughing when I saw that. That was hilarious. But then like Joaquin Phoenix is like so scared. Like, children, watch out!
Yeah. No.
Like, when he had the tinfoil hat on, I started cracking up laughing. I was like, that was funny.
Yeah. So cool. So yeah, definitely check those movies out, guys. You get some suggestions before next week when we'll be back for episode 95. We're heading towards 100 pretty quick. And for that 100th, we're doing something pretty special. So stay tuned for all the more specific details about that. But I will let you know it will be in and around and about, or not, but in and around Dragon Con. So that'll be fun.
Dragon Con.
Dragon Con, yeah. We'll be riding dragons.
It will. It will be quite extreme.
It will be. Yeah, there'll be like fire everywhere. Yeah.
90s tactic coming at you.
That's right. So cool. And then in terms of this channel, like I said at the beginning, I got some videos I got to make, so that's coming up. No Super Talk this week. It will be back next week on Saturday, as it is every other Saturday. So you got that to look forward to. And that'll do it, guys. Go ahead and leave your comments down below. There are some links for some things, crystal clear backing boards. You can still get that discount. Curated list of cool items through Amazon. You can check that out as well. And go ahead and check out everybody's channel, sub them up, and enjoy your YouTube experience. All the better. All right, guys. Have a good night, and we will see you in our next videos.
Good night, everybody.
Good one, everybody.